Akshay Kumar is a bona fide star. I don't think anyone is going to deny that. It's been an interesting career in these past 2 decades to notice the shift in genres with his filmography. A man who started with action films, did carefree comedies in the mid 2000s, now usually stars in storylines that have a national sentiment and are based on true events. It's crazy to think that Akshay Kumar and the team of Bell Bottom finished the shooting of the film in 40 days during the height of the pandemic. It is reflective of the man's work ethic and his relentless pursuit to at least have 3 to 4 releases per year. No matter how much of an Akshay Kumar stan you might be, you also have to agree that both him and Ajay Devgan, national superstars in their own right, are not method actors, and listen carefully when I say this. Both these actors fall in the category of guaranteeing you formidable performances, but they will never go the extra mile to completely transform themselves, so much so that it seems completely different from their last venture. Both the actors have confessed to not agreeing to do massive physical or external transformations for their roles, and so there comes this similar demeanor being prevalent in a lot of their films, where some of their performances look or feel like some of their other films. Do tell me if you agree or disagree about the same in the comments below of both the actors. Talking about the trailer, first of all, you all know how skeptical I get when I see the duration of the first look. The trailers of Bhuj and Mimi really frustrated me for the amount of beats it was ready to spill out as if providing a movie summary. But to my surprise, even though Bell Bottom's trailer is close to 3 minutes and 20 seconds long, it just provided enough where I can considerably be invested and look forward to watching the film. I think what the marketing team of the trailer has done well is that they have showcased the premise at hand and then categorically fleshed out the mission at hand through a montage backed by an engaging background score. It is refreshing to see that while several revelations of the mission at hand could have easily been spelled out, there has been a reservation in that case, which I think, while noticing the current climate of trailers, giving away too much was rather refreshing. I actually went into a deep dive after watching the trailer to try and understand which event it is based on, and what is possibly a footnote or barely mentioned in our contemporary history books is so riveting to actually explore. So I'm first going to tell you what I researched, describe the route that the film is going to take, and finally tell you about what I disagree or simply did not like about the trailer. While reading about the period between 1971 and 1984 in India, you realize that the country was under constant social unrest. There was a lot of problems that we were dealing with as a country. It blew my mind when I revisited the several hijacking cases that have taken place with respect to Indian Airlines since 1971. From the 2 cases in the 1970s conducted by the Jammu Kashmir Liberation Front to future Indian Congress MLAs conducting a hijack of a domestic flight, demanding the release of Indira Gandhi and for cases to be dropped against Sanjay Gandhi. There was absolute social anarchy during this period. This also was a time where there was extreme civil unrest in Punjab, and the chapter that Bell Bottom opens is specifically the hijacking attempt by the extremist group that Sikh for Khalistan in August of 1984. The domestic flight from Chandigarh to Srinagar was taken to Lahore and eventually to Dubai. With 100 passengers on board, the mission to get the civilians out safe, the negotiations that took place in Dubai, the careful planning between India and the defense minister of UAE to capture the hijackers who demanded to be taken to the USA and bring them back to Indian soil is all that Bell Bottom will focus on. What I'm trying to say is that this film is an agent espionage thriller, more than simply a nationalistic, full of Desh Bhakti, pick out a chapter of our Indian history and just make us emotional by integrating national pride kind of movie. I think this film is a little different in this case, but what I'm certain of is one thing: Akshay Kumar is definitely in his comfort zone. This is truly a tried and tested method that most of the time simply works. Akshay Kumar has noticed immense success with films like Baby and Airlift, and it is no denying the fact that the film actually looks like an extended version of the same universe. I mean, Akshay Kumar more or less looks like his baby character Ajay Singh Rajput in this film, and the premise to put him in foreign soil to rescue civilians for the country is literally reminiscent of Airlift. So the criticism of a sense of similarity existing from what audiences have already seen from Akshay Kumar's filmography is justified. Do you also feel Bell Bottom isn't too far off from the characters Akshay Kumar has already made popular? Can I just tell you what I absolutely did not like about the trailer? So what is it about our special effects and VFX department that our scenes, especially the ones that are of humongous scale, still look cartoonish? I understand that the film has been shot during lockdown and that has its own restrictions, but it still just sad to see that films which are being advertised as the big releases still have so many jarring visuals that takes away from the otherwise engaging and realistic visuals. Looking at some of the shots of the plane and the dust storm just reminded me of the lack of strides we have taken in the technical department, and probably for the sake of everyone's eyes, we should hire Red Chilli's entertainment for every film because honestly, they are killing it. Also, aren't you guys tired of the trope of some of these star-led action films or thrillers where a mission is about to happen and when characters are formulating their plan, one person has to, without fail, go, एक आदमी है जिसको सब पता है. I mean, these missions are so complex and have the requirement of so many factions to work in perfect order. I find it almost laughable when creators present it as if one man is responsible for the success of such complicated tasks. I would still recommend you anyway to read the book The Cowboys of Raw by B. Raman, an ex-Raw agent with 26 years of experience who recounts being a key element in the success of this mission. It would provide you a more realistic take rather than the Bollywood version we will anyway have a good time watching and are looking forward to. Also, one more thing when you're cutting a trailer, there has to be a guy on the editing table approving it, right? So I can imagine one of them being like, एक बिल्कुल क्राउड प्लीजिंग डायलॉग है ना, वो भी ट्रेलर में कट करना है. Now when I think about this example, I think of, examples like Padmavat's trailer. The dialogue of चिंता को तलवार की नोक पे रखे वो राजपूत. Or screw that, Airlift's dialogue from the trailer. आदमी की फितरत ही ऐसी होती है, चोट लगती है तो मामा ही चलाता है सबसे पहले. My point is, compare the impact of that dialogue to the dialogue in the trailer of BellBottom. Who thought that this Velcro and ass-wiping dialogue was in any way impactful? I'll be honest, I cringed. Did you too? I will confess to watching the trailer and then watching it again and being like, Lara Dutta का इतना छोटा रोल है क्या कि उसे ट्रेलर में भी नहीं डाला? And then upon revisiting it and understanding that she was in the trailer, I was like, God damn, this is some epic makeup and prosthetic skills that I can't even recognize the actor. It reminded me of how mind blown I was when I saw The Darkest Hour and realized, oh shit, that's Gary Oldman. While I'm sure Vaani Kapoor will be the understanding spouse who will have little to no consequence to the mission at hand and will just come in and out as she pleases, it's good to see actors like Lara Dutta, Adil Hussain and Huma Qureshi who are considerably dependable actors. Is it just me also, or did I get partially hyped or started tapping my feet to the beat the moment the background score of the film kicked in the trailer? The score is composed by Tanish Bagchi, which makes you just realize that another addition to my unpopular opinions will be that if this man tries, he can create some original gems. I saw a lot of people try to create a parallel with Flo Rida's Turnaround, but that's a bit of a stretch. The score composed by Tanish Bagchi is genuinely catchy and fits perfectly well for a genre like an espionage thriller. I necessarily don't understand the need for the film to be in 3D other than the fact that the creators want to increase their profit margins as the price of tickets inadvertently increases with this specific change. Irrespective of whatever their reasoning may be, I'm still looking forward to the film, as I genuinely feel it may surprise us. If I look at the Independence Day releases happening from the Hindi film industry, I would say I'm most hyped for Sher Shah, BellBottom comes a close second, and I'm the most skeptical about Bhuj. And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the trailer. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.